right now is just begin cleaning, straight up. So I give a little pre-video here of what it all looks like. Top of the morning. Day 2 with this bad boy looks even better with the sun coming up against it, so happy about that. Today we are going to do more cleaning. That's really the answer. This is going to be the primary, one of our many goals of the day. Removing adhesive, all that shit. I might actually leave it on that side. Really don't want to because it does stain the paint, and I generally don't want that. So at least going to get this quarter cleaned up, try to do something with that. This door jamb is better, not quite 100% yet. Needs a couple rounds, I think. Last night I had a mind to leave the doors open so I could aerate the carpet. I can do this, so never mind. Yeah, just more cleaning. Probably gonna pull out the seats, or at least this seat. This shit's nowhere near dry. Yeah, pull out that seat, get in my parts car, get the window, get whatever else I need for the immediate time frame. There is a little bit of damage on the hood. You see an Audi right there, which can be tapped back down. You see an Innie right there, which can be tapped out. And then that one can be tapped back in. That's really it. Oh, there's a couple hail dents on the hood. Car's got a little bit of hail damage here and there, but not worried about that. Anyway, yeah, this looks great. So I wanted to try something, and it worked. So I'm just going to use this X-Acto knife to, it slices right through. The big thing is not slicing myself, which I've done, trying to take out a window before. I got the stitches to prove it, but yeah, just kind of scoring along. And I know they make a tool. I'm about to go get it. The piano wire and all that, especially because that happens. But yeah, I'll tighten that up, but that should be pretty easy to get out if I don't cut myself, which I may get the tool for. It actually reminds me of a nerd's rope, a very metal nerd's rope, if you were to eat this. But yeah, it's pretty much going to come right out. Despite how thick that stuff actually is, but again, like just doing a single pulling motion right there, or again, you can score it, which, yeah, it doesn't take much. Once you get it going, especially if you got a good blade on here, you can move right through it. Now, eventually, I'm gonna have to take the C-pillars out to unplug these guys and, to properly reinstall it. I'm gonna have to move some stuff out of the way. But the piano wire is probably gonna be faster to get this out. I need to get this this window trim out of the way in addition to the glass, but this trim here might be pretty easy to pop out for real. Just use the little pry tool, the plastic guy. We'll get this trim off, and then yeah, getting the glass out with piano wire, you can just, you know, do a sawing motion with my pinky and my hand, so that way I can hold the phone. Anyway, yeah, so this shouldn't be bad. It's just a very, you know, 3/8 1/4 inch wide piece of urethane, so it's not huge. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that, or run and get the puller tool and slice all this shit out one way or the other. And then getting the good glass out of the parts car is the challenge, because I can't break it. Remember to turn your focus to manual when you're doing this shit. Anyway, yeah, you guys got the gist of that. That is 3/4 of the way out. Top, sides, very slowly with the knife. And in fact, I'll probably just get some B-roll right here just to show that. But yeah, that is a pretty clean way, relatively safe way. I'm not cut up, so I'm happy to get glass out, or at least if it's already busted. So yeah, this bottom side, like I said earlier, is going to be a little bit trickier to do with that because of how thick that bead is. So you see this bead's about 3/8, you know, roughly 3/8, and down here it's a bit bigger. It's like a 1/2 inch to 3/4. So scoring through that is possible. Again, the blade's only so long though, so I think the piano wire is going to be the best bet here, the best method of approach. So I am going to leave this where it is. I'm not gonna fuck with that. I'm gonna try it with the knife first, and I will report back. Also, for down here, there's a rubber strip at the bottom, or a seal, that will come off. It's just kind of snugly fit onto the edge of the glass. So you can take a plastic tool, you can take this tool, you can take whatever the hell you want, and just get that. In this case, it's probably not going to come off very nicely because of all the cracked glass. So just beware. Like I said, I'm not grabbing this with my bare hands. But you gotta see there how it's just like the rest of it. It's just channel fit basically. I'm gonna try to get this off, and then that'll expose the whole thing of glass that we have down there. So again, that's just a little rubber strip that's just snugly fit. Now again, this did fall apart because all the broken glass and whatnot, and I didn't have more of these. But you can see how it works. It's the side profile of it. So this side on the left is where the glass sits into, and then that general shape of it is so that if you peel up on the back side here, you can almost lift it around like up and off your glass. So if I can focus on it, there we go. So you'll basically do this number with it when you're taking it off. So I pulled the rest of it off about in one strip. Use a pair of pliers on the end of it, and then yeah, so what that does is reveals to us what's left of the glass and how thick it is and all that. So with that, I'm trying to be careful with the glass here. With that, yeah, I don't want to use piano wire. I think we'll be able to do that with a knife. Alright, so I'm going to do my best to capture this. I'm going to focus on manual. I discovered a way that works as far as getting this guy out. And so, grab this, and I just started sawing. The blade's on there good. Yeah, grab that and like literally sawing through the shit while pulling the glass back. Seems to be a decent strategy. However, I'm gonna need some gloves because this shit, as you can maybe hear, is beginning to get well, smaller and smaller. The smaller it gets, the more it gets into my skin, and I don't like that. So yeah, I was just doing that. That's how I got this all the way to that point. The other option is to choose violets. I really don't like because it scratches shit. It does work though. It's not my method of choice. There's a attachment you can get for that. I don't have one, but yeah, there's a couple ways to do this. And that's why I didn't want to do it. See, it's got scratches and shit. But again, we have primer for that. So yeah, that's a few different methods of doing that. You also see this cable here, which I don't have piano wire, but I do have spare garage door cable because I just did that. So I figured I might use this. It probably don't work. Alright, though. Quite as effective. I think it's a little bit too thick. There's such a thing as too thick. I think we're experiencing it right now. Yeah, I don't like this method. It smells bad too. Look at that. It's really the heat that was cutting, not the... That works. Not my favorite though. I think we've expressed, like I said, about every method we could use to pull this shit out. Matter of fact, I'll zoom in on that so you can really... So here we have an example of what multiple attempts, or not attempts, but what multiple avenues look like as far as pulling glass, how they work, what they're good at. Okay, so here, from there to about there is the scoring method. You can kind of see those horizontal lines, or the scribing method scoring. Here is the sawing method. So once I got back to this point, I just started with the X-Acto. Here, again, effective, but messy, scratchy. Again, primer, let's take care of it. Here is the sawing with the garage wire. The piano wire has effectively the same, does the same thing, but I pulled up and not over. So that is how we ended up just breaking right there. But this is actually a phenomenal little specimen of a car. So right here you've got 4 methods of taking out glass: scribing, sawing with the X-Acto, the Sawzall, granted a shorter blade would do better, and then the piano wire. Now with that said, I actually like scoring the most. myself. So I think it gives us the cleanest, most controlled brake. It takes longer, but I like it the most. I can control exactly what I'm doing, where the knife is. It's not fast, but it's pretty damn good. So I'm just going to do this a bunch like you saw earlier, and I will have this back glass out in no time. Alright, I have managed to do it with no gloves because we die like men. But here it comes. Rest of this mess. Out it goes. So that is all the broken. Again, trying it multiple ways here so you see why it came out the way that it did. But again, I think that was great. Way to show you kind of the pros and cons of various ways. But there's the problem, and there's the problem in the trash. So this is what we're left with. A good surface, once we vacuum it, to put our new glass onto. Let's see, we're gonna need to do some vacuuming, some cleaning up around here to get the rest of this urethane, either level, but just clean up little shit like that, blow it out, vacuum it out, etc., etc. We should be in good shape. Also, because I couldn't wait, this is the reflection in the paint. This is the reflection in the paint before. That's me. Yeah. Oh yeah, if we can get the whole thing to come out like this, then I will be way more than happy. I mean, what sucks is that it's got scratches like that. They're really not fillable, honestly, not in a not noticeable way. So ultimately, I'm gonna have to paint this hood. But you shitting me, man? Look at that. Alright, so here we are after removing some of that nasty old tape, new tape, etc. This is where we're at on the quarter. So there's still lots of exterior, surface scratches here, but I got most of that off without a hitch. This guy was a help. Boiling water was a help. Didn't use this. Could have. Don't have a drill. And then this concoction I made between Goo Gone and thinner. That's where we're at. So I'm gonna see if I can actually polish this out now. So that spot. And this spot, if I can get it to, there we go. This spot, so now we're just going to do a pan right here so you can see what we're dealing with. Just general cloudiness. Bingo. Just like that. Just like that. I love it. So there is going to have to be a little bit of wet sanding, but again, looking at the rest of the condition of this car, I think just a general polish to start is a great step in the right direction. So you still kind of see those guys, but that gloss is, come on. You can just watch it go away. Like here, bam, just clarity. So yeah, we done good. Done real good. This versus this. Yeah. Hello, I'm hot. It is balmy out today. I think I have like 81. I'm wearing a fucking pullover. Anyway, in here I have all the stuff. My phone was gonna die, so I didn't record it. But the window came out very nicely, and I just used went to Harbor Freight and got that the window puller thingy-majig with the piano wire. Much more effective than the garage wire for sure. So yeah, the window is right there. You get that tint off of it, and we're good to go. So we'll pull the tent. I'm going to grab some water because I'm parched, and then yeah, I'm gonna grab some urethane to adhere to the window. I already have primer, so we'll be in good shape here in about an hour. So I'll check back in once I finish my drive, get these logistics out of the way. Also, yeah, as you can see, I got door panels, I got seats, I got everything I can grab today. As you see, this thing's pretty full. And later, I'll be getting the carpet and stuff like that in that car. I didn't feel like trying to power up the seats and shit like that. Not for what we're doing right now. So I got enough work ahead of me just to get the glass in and swap over some of the interior bits. Back seat was easy. And then we will be one step closer. Having that back window is going to be a big piece of the puzzle. So this guy seems lost. That's unfortunate because as soon as this window gets put on here, I'm bug bombing this car. So now, in terms of prepping this guy, never mind the siren. I don't live in the hood. I basically just do this. Just get the blade underneath it and get this old urethane off. I almost do it at an angle, so we can keep it flat against the glass. So again, I love having a tailgate. You just get it just underneath it and slides right along the surface here. Makes a really nice surface. And then here on the car, I'm doing the exact same thing. Just kind of keeping it at a decent angle and getting it all cut out. So last bit is bottom section, and get cleaned up all in here and we'll get a new window put in. Gotta say, sometimes you just get lucky and this happens. This is not always the case with removing old tint. Not by a long shot. This is great. This is great, yes. Sign me up for more of this, please. Then as far as the body side, just glass cleaner. And this is literally what I've seen the guy who installs my glass usually do. So, a couple rounds of this. We get that nice and clean. I'm going to take off some more urethane from up there. Old stuff. And we will just about be ready to put the glass in. So it's one of the last steps. Most that off. Not even using the same towel, just to get as much of that dirt extracted as possible. I'll come back one more time. Another towel, just to, ensure success and cleanliness. But that's all we're doing. Just cleaner down there, wiping it, clean it off. Come back again one more time. Like I said, I'm gonna take this down some more. Other than that, almost be ready for a primer on the glass, and then get that urethane on here and get it taped up and let it sit. Speaking of, this is the primer that I use. Same stuff most people use. So it's just this, shake it, pull out, it's like a ball applicator, and you put that on your metal. Like I said, that's gonna keep any type of corrosion, rust, etc. where you did strike metal. Gotta get this thing open. Yeah, there's an applicator for that, and it just goes around the edge here. Alright, so the windshield urethane is set on there. It's not the prettiest, but I also don't have that drill thing. I just got a regular handheld joint like everybody else. So I have a couple suction cups that I'm going to use to help me mount the glass because it's just me. I'm going to get those put on there, and then we're going to get it set in. You can get this cleaned up before that wheel goes on. Quick little paint. I'm going to spin it off the face there, but get that all dressed up. That looks a lot better. We're gonna fix this. It's the first round of compounding, but I like it. In terms of my 50-50 goal, kicks ass. So next I'm gonna attack this door. Get some of these exterior stains off. That'll come off. That'll come off. Get some clarity in here. So this is kind of where we're at. I would say we're about 50% to our 50% mark. But the color looks great, particularly on that quarter. That's where I spent a lot of time yesterday, but then too, with the trunk. It's damn good for something that's going to have to be painted, because these scratches are not going to come out. But that looks good. Windows in, which is great. But I think, this is going to clean up really, really well as far as, getting shined up and everything. And then a little bit of PDR on there, especially compared to this side, because you can really see that quarter helps kind of exacerbate. But again, that's easy enough to pull back out later. But I do like the amount of drama that's over here, because it really does tell the story between the tape and the missing trim and the, just the general dirt. And it looks unkept over here. Over here looks like a completely different car. I mean, you've still got your, your dirt. You got moss growing right there, all the way up that in here. So that, compared to this, is crazy. Especially considering I'm going to replace seals, these guys, this guy. I have some that are in way better shape that look more like that. So I'm going to pop these off. It's really easy to do. Pop these off. That one, replace that. I need to find, I have another door. I'm going to replace this seal as well because it's cracked. But the glass is in best shape that I've seen really any set of glass in, even mine. So yeah, that trim's going to get replaced. I'm going to deeper clean inside of here. Once I start to move that way over the roof and whatnot, I'm going to do the roof so I can get the trunk. But alright, still mildly allergic to this car, but it is the first time that I'm driving it since doing the window. So yes, the shade is stuck up now, but I have a replacement for it. It won't be a big deal because that has to be recovered anyway back there. It's a lot more pleasant in here with without air smacking the shit out of me. I'll put the windows up here in a second. We'll see. Alright, so those are going up. I'll hit this corner real quick. Oh, this is so much better. It's also not hot today, so that's a plus. This is good. This is good. Window is successful. It hasn't blown out. So, I'm happy. Now, one thing I will say. First off, what the fuck is that noise? Probably a piece of trim. Or tape. But yeah, one thing I will say though, yeah, these shocks, while the EDC light comes on and they do stiffen up a hair, it's still this thing is wafty. It's like driving my W220 in a bad way. Compared to May 38, which I drove this morning. Oh, I know what I did. May 38, which I drove this morning. this is completely different, and it isn't just the tires, because now I've got 18s. Not it, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do something about these shocks. Maybe some. If I can find some more 750 ones. That tape. I should have taken that tape off. It's annoying. Anyway, I would replace the shocks in this car at some point. Maybe with some OE ones, not new OE ones. Fuck no, those are expensive as shit. But fine. That tape is really okay. Yeah, I'll try to find like some lowering springs or something and take the EDC out. I don't want to, but like, you know, for what this car's gonna be like, I think it's a good idea. All right, so I have moved the car, and I'm gonna show you guys one of my favorite products. I've showed it to you before, I'm gonna show it to you again because of how good it is. So this stuff is again, one of my favorite things because it turns shit from this, that gray, nasty, faded, etc., to deep and rich and black. It's true for the front, and it's true for the rear, even though, you know, I gotta replace all that point. So beat that. I'm gonna do down there too. Beat that. Matter of fact, go ahead and look at this. Look at the improvement. Good for a 50/50 car. So this is after a little bit of 15. This is pretty well etched. I don't know if this is like a bird, well, not bird, but like an egg or something like that. There's only a couple things that can really make paint be etched like that, but yeah, that's 15, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of relief on it. I'm just gonna polish that back out. I mean, it is what it is. 232,000 miles. As far as this, you can tell that I wet sanded it. It lacks orange peel around it. However, the fact that you can kind of see that so clearly at this angle, I mean, that shit's in the paint basically. So there's not a lot to do about that, unfortunately. So basically what I did was just polished it back out. It's a ghost, but you know, it's there. But what do you do? So this is where this is at right now. I've done my paint correction on the back half, except the roof. But this paint's gorgeous. This paint is gorgeous. These I'm replacing. I haven't done up here yet, but the contrast between these two sections is wild. Just this heat blowing and all that shit, it looks awful. To just excellence. To just excellence. With the trim, with the 50/50. All the lower trim in black. So all I got left paint correction wise is the other part of the hood. I did this whole section yesterday, so do this part, that part, the fender, this door, and then the roof. So I'm gonna give my fingers a break before I do this. And then I'm gonna be replacing these guys. They may polish out eventually, but as long as it would take and the pad consumption, I'm just going to replace them with good pieces. They're not supposed to look like that. So yeah, they're supposed to look a lot more like this. So I'm gonna replace those real quick because I've got those. But this thing is this is an excellent car. It seriously. All right, next up, went back in the shed and picked these up. So we have our two B pillar trims, the C pillar, or the C pillar. I don't know where that one at. So I'm gonna try to polish that one out for now. But we have these guys, which are in way better shape than that. We've got some new seals if we need to. These top seals are okay, a little dry, but they'll clean up fine. This inner seal is fine, so we don't need to do that. But what I definitely want to do is replace this guy because of that right there. So that has come out anyway when we do the trim to begin with. So we're going to start by opening up the door and basically just pry this out of the channel that it's in, like so. And just do a bunch of that. The mirror is going to have to come loose, so we're going to have to pop behind here and take out the I think there's 7s or Torx bits, one that does like a T30, something like that. So pop those out. But yeah, this guy, well, if we're going to replace that anyway. So yeah, pop this loose like so, and it will just, again, it's just pressure fit into the channel, so that will come out like that. And it's got on the end a little grommet that that guy, so we pop that out. And then over here, same thing, so that just gets pulled out like front. All right, so the front's loose. We'll go over to the back. Really, that's start out here. Out. A lot easier with 2 hands, as you can see. Pop that out. And this one is already loose. So then we take like these guys. I don't know what these are actually for, but I like them for a lot of stuff, particularly pulling clips. So squeeze behind it, pull that out, really easy. That's loose. We'll just drape that over the door. That. And this one up here goes, well, it's attached to this guy right here, and that's the channel fit. So, okay, the first thing to do in all this is to put the windows down. So, that makes life a lot easier. Shade down, and in here, this one comes out basically the same way. You grab a hold of it, and again, it's just inside of the channel, and it goes right about down to there. So you use a flathead, a trim puller if you can't get a hold of it, but once you do get a grip, it'll just come out like that. And basically, yeah, go like that. You can take off the inner trim, but you have to pull the shade hooks out. So you can tuck it back behind there once you get it all the way out, and then put the new one back in. So getting this out, pull up like that. So that's that garbage. And then right here, you can see there's 3 Phillips screws, and the same is true on the inside here. So this is the same deal. Where I get it loosened up a little bit, and you can just pull the inner trim back, like you pull it forward, get it out of the way, and get, like I said, a nail, trim puller, or something like that behind it. So, screwdriver is good. Pull that back. Get behind the trim, pry it forward, and send out. And then same, this back, it just comes out like that. And then there. So since I'm not replacing this inner rubber strip, I'm just going to leave it like that. And again, that exposes 3 Phillips screws. So, Phillips screwdriver, very short, very easy to get out. So you shouldn't need like an impact or anything like that. Got those. One over here. Sit stuff on the glass on purpose because glass is a lot tougher than paint, and I haven't corrected this roof yet. I don't want to add more work than I actually need to do. Okay, so that's there like that, and then this piece, like I said, is basically pressure fit onto the edge. So you just kind of peel it out, like so. So see how I'm kind of peeling it that way, 45 degrees from the door. So that's mostly out. Don't pull it because it's still attached underneath this guy. Now for this, I'll give you a close up of that. So once you've got these off, then you've got these guys, just itty bitty little clips that hold them on. So I like to take pliers and just squeeze those when I pull this trim off. I start at the front, work my way back because of the Hoffmeister kink, and then up here, again, same thing. These guys just run all the way along and down to there. So this one doesn't really matter where you start. Back one, start there and then work your way around. Alright. So again, with these guys, you can use needle noses. I like these guys a lot because they're about the same width. And you can just squeeze them easily. And just squeeze them in so where they're not holding onto the trim anymore. That. And then when you install this new one on there, it's just the opposite. So you'll bend the tabs back out so they're holding onto it again. Technically too, you can pull the inner seal off and it's just a channel that you sit onto. So technically you can pull this entire piece forward because it slides on the door like that. But since I don't have these little clips on my incoming trim, I'm not going to do that. So get that. Then I'll take Phillips screwdriver, or a flathead screwdriver, just underneath the trim, between the clip and the trim. I'll try it. You can hear it release on both sides. Two. And my last bit there, and that allows this piece to come off. So then, incoming piece goes on the exact same way, but in reverse. So we'll start back here at the kink, where we'll align it with the clip and start kind of pushing it forward onto the door. I don't see this one. I got some clips in here, so I'm going to knock out the ones I don't have. And again, you can see now, like I said, they're just on a little channel that's right there, so they will come right off like that. Which does present its own challenge because now you gotta go two directions. So really pick your evil here of which way you want to go. You want to keep the old clips on the door, or keep them when you take these off of another car, keep them inside the trim. That. So here's the difference. The new piece to the old piece. That is, I like it. This to this. Like I said, don't know where this piece is. I have it. I just need to find it. But that is way better than that. Way better than that. So we're going to keep this right on moving. We're going to get this one replaced, and I will show you the rest of the way. Phone died on this one. I'll show you the rest of the way how to do it on this. So yeah, with these clips, it's very easy to undo them. A couple ways you can do this. There's actually two ways to do this. One is you can send the whole piece of trim out and all the clips will come with it because it's just a channel. I've done it both ways. The other way I like to do it is to squeeze them, and then you can take the trim upward as opposed to forward or outward. So just do that on all of them, all the way down. So getting this back in is really easy. Just take a flathead and use the palm of my hand to take that and then this one all the way down. That pops it back on. So you guys are just in time because I just polished this piece before I put the trim back on, or the rubber trim. It helps preserve my pad a little bit. But this is a lot better. A lot better. A little bit of water spots. I'll do another round on it, but yeah, this is not what it was. So this, there you go. To that, I'm happy. And then putting the trim back in, really easy. Just gonna tuck it to the back first, and then worry about your front side. It's not hard to do with one hand, but yeah, stuff all the back in like this. Gotta set that up to where it's supposed to be. Now the trick here, the hard part I should say, is getting this back in there around the glass. So use soapy water, window cleaner. This is great for absolutely everything. Even ask some body shops, they'll tell you. But when I get this in around other gaskets, and then sometimes too, it helps to bring the window up and then kind of give you an idea of where you're supposed to be, and then just shove it down in there. Sometimes it slides right in, which we would prefer, sometimes not. Now what you can do too is with two hands push down on this and then roll the window down, and it'll help you kind of pull it down. So I'm going to do that real quick. So that was easy-ish. And the last bit you need to do is to get the felt that we just put in back behind the interior trim, which is really easy actually with a screwdriver. You just get it in behind it at the right angle, just tuck it down, and then two hands helps a lot down there. But the process is the same all the way along the top. So you'll be getting this and just doing this number with it, and it will naturally get into place. So at the end of all that, this is what you should be left with. Cherry. Absolutely cherry. That looks so much better. I actually ended up being able to polish this one out. Just need to get those edges a little bit more. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Alright, so good morning first off. Number two, naturally I am late to Cars and Coffee. I was up late last night with the paint and everything. Just the adhesive particularly. My hands, my fingertips are absolutely fried. But you know, the car looks pretty darn good, I think. A couple things that I couldn't quite get to, but again, for having this thing for 2 days and what it looks like, I couldn't ask for much more, honestly. Most people couldn't. That's pretty good. Car's final wipe down, that'll be, when I actually get there. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Looks great. I'm happy. So that concludes the half and half of the car, if you will. Join us next week where I will be taking apart the interior, actually, and going through and replacing the carpet, cleaning up things, and we found a hell of a surprise in there. We used fire to take care of it, so come back and check it out next week. Thanks.